The Inimicate Bridgerton book set, the original price is £150. Now you search it on eBay, people are selling it for over £800 in the UK. Some may even sell their access code to the leftover sale for a crazy amount of money. This world is getting mad. Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome back to my channel. Today let's do a sit down and honest talk video. I want to talk about special edition of books. So first of all, what is a special edition? And I think the answer will be quite simple. If you add extra value to a standard book, it will turn into a special edition. Let's say if you have a signature from the author, no matter it is physical, bookplate or digital, then it is a special edition. You can also put signed, number, spray edge, redesigned hardcover, and it is still a special edition. In short, if you add some like film fan film to a book, and then it will be a special edition. Now, if you are into special edition, where you can get them? I am from the UK and I mainly read sci-fi and fantasy, so my answer will be based on them. First of all, you can get it from your local bookshops. Let's say Waterstones is now doing their own exclusives and they look stunning. Gosborough also have their own exclusive, or you can get a signed first edition from them. The Broken Binding also offers a signed copy on their regular store, or if you go onto their sub-site, you can find their own exclusive special editions. The second way is through book subscription. Usually these companies would have a team reading all those new releases beforehand and decide which one would they pick for their monthly subscription. If you're into SFF, again we have Gosborough and the Broken Binding. We also have the Inimicate, Fairloot, Lock Library, Inkstones in the UK. In the US, I think you got Owlcrate. Some of these companies may have two separate lines for YA and adult, and let's see which one you are more interested in. Or you can get them both. Then for romance, you have a monthly subscription from Inimicate called Afterlight, and they also offer a horror quarterly sub called Evernight. Romantasy in the UK, I think we have two. One is of course Fairloot again, and then we have Page and Wicks. For fiction, I just know Gosborough again, and it is called Premier Membership. If you, let's say, miss out the sale for certain special editions, or if you want to find one that is from ages ago, you may need to go for private seller from certain Facebook groups, eBay, Vinted, or whatever got you in your country. If the title you're searching for is not that well known, it's not that popular, it's not that hype, then you may be able to get it at cost or even below cost. But if the one you want is so popular, so limited, the cost would be significantly much higher. This video is kind of inspired by an email I received from Gosborough not long ago, and it is called History of Sprayed Edge. Long story short, during the medieval time, people would paint the edge of the book to show how sacred, how important that book is. In the 18th or 19th century, the reason for a sprayed edge is more practical, to protect the book from dust or moisture. Then coming to now, what is sprayed edge or special edition for? I would say it is for a better look on your bookcase or give you a better reading experience. Instead of just looking at the dull color of a page, now it is really colorful. The tactile design has been improving over the time. Instead of just like one big block of color, there are more thoughts put into it now. We may have a pattern, we may have something important to the story, or something that can symbolize what the story is about, or if you have a trilogy, if you put those three books together, it will form a whole illustration. All in all, it is for the pretty look and to give you a much better enhanced reading experience. But we all know that there will be another side of this story, and it is about the money. I don't know the exact margin or difference between selling a standard novel or special edition of it, but let's take this book, Running Close to the Wind by Alexander Rowland, as an example. The retail price in the UK is £20, and then you look for a special edition and you will find one on the Broken Binding. They have a different in the color, a spray edge, signed, and the naked cover, and they sell it for £27. So between the standard edition and the special edition, the difference would be £7. Maybe we can take another example. I have Legends and Latte and Bookshop and Bone Dust. I couldn't find the retail price for the first one. The prequel is £18.99, so I would assume the first one would be at similar value. Not long ago, Fairloot did a special edition for them. They are holographic over the books. signed and sprayed edge. They are selling for $22.99 each. Here, once again, I have no idea how much the publisher or the author would make from selling special edition. But as a customer, I just know one thing. I need to pay more for a special edition. So I would logically guess that they're gonna make some more money from it than selling a standard edition. You watched this far already, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe to my channel Dantasy for more bookish content in the future. After all this basic information about what is special edition, how you can get them, maybe it is my turn to share my experience of me buying special edition of books. I started reading fantasy maybe in 2018 or 2019. If you watch my booktube newbie tech video, you will know that the first series I started is A Song of Ice and Fire, which is crazy to start with this complex epic fantasy series. At that time, if I remember correctly, I don't think there were many shops doing special editions, or maybe there will be signed copies of it. And I usually get my books from eBay or Amazon as used copies. Looking back now, I think it is also the time when the book subscription kicked in. They would do a special edition with a sprayed edge, but it is usually a color brick. I remember watching other booktubers unboxing all these book subscription and looking at these special editions, thinking that they are so special. How you can paint the edge of a book and look beautiful. Maybe during the first or the second year of the pandemic, this kind of book subscription started to boom. More people were interested in this kind of book subscription, and I guess that's the reason why the design is improving. You can tell there are more efforts put into the design. Not just one single color break, but there are more detailed illustration that would suit the book. At this point, I would say I still buy used copies because I want to read in a budget unless it is a new release, because it is impossible to get a second-hand copy. So time flies to 2023, and it is the year I started to read significantly more and started this channel as well. I remember the first special edition I got is actually a used copy from the eBay, which I was really lucky, and it is The Hand of the Sun King by J.T. Greathouse. See how precious, how beautiful the book is when you're holding it in person? It is such an eye-opening experience. So I was into special edition. I would search on eBay or join some private Facebook groups to see any private sellers selling any special editions, let's say from Waterstones, from Gospel, their own exclusives. It is also at this point I started my Gospel GSFF book subscription. I would say that at that moment, it was still healthy because the price is not crazy, it was fair. Even though for Waterstone exclusive, you are not paying much more than the standard one to make the whole experience more special. Overall, it is still an enjoyable experience. But when you start to dig and see which companies are doing their own special editions, there are definitely companies, big or small, can design and sell their own exclusives. Then when you want to get a special edition from maybe 1 or 2 years ago and see how crazy the price can be, FOMO gonna sink in. What I mean here is when you see how much the resale price gonna be, and we can't predict the future and guess how much you need to spend on these books if you want to get it later. We will never know how fast this book's gonna be sold out, so your mind will tell you don't miss any special edition. I can think of a couple of examples that make me FOMO. Other than the Enigmatic Bridgerton set I mentioned in the beginning, I can think of the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu from The Broken Binding. At that time, The Broken Binding is not as well known as now, and I think this set is really limited to only 500 copies. So the price I have seen is so crazy, it can be over £500 for 4 books. And then from their fantasy subscription, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, John Grant's The Faith and the Fallen set. For 4 books, you may need to pay £300 now. If you have seen so many sets of books you need to pay so much more for in the future, of course you don't want to miss them when they first put up for sale. You don't want to pay a ridiculous amount of money later, so the FOMO kick in. I hate this FOMO, but I guess everybody got a certain degree of it in your mind, but I think mine is just a bit better now. I am even thinking to utilize my skips for my GSFF better. When I see certain titles that I am not really into, I will be so determined to skip it. I am in a relatively zen, peaceful stage where I will not have a mindset that I need to get every special edition every shop gonna offer, because it's gonna be crazy. Now I think part of the reason is once again the social media. No matter it is here, the booktube, bookstagram, book talk, whenever you see others unboxing a special edition, people showing you like a shelf or special edition, I'm not talking about me. People have many special editions in the house and it looks really beautiful, really special, really like wow. Or you see, oh, the author that I love has collaborated with another shop and released their own special edition. So many reasons from the social media would accelerate the mindset that you need to have one to keep up with the others. And then you would jump into this rabbit hole and ask people where you got them, searching them on the eBay, find some private sellers, or even sign up for some book subscription. At last, you will be tempted to get more. So my concern would be quite logical. You will end up spending more money on books. I mean, it is a good thing if you can read them, but we all know it is not gonna be the case. We still got loads to read from our physical TBR, but we still buy more books. What I want to say here is people like me signing up to different book subscriptions to get their own exclusives. Every month, you're gonna have different boxes arriving at the door. You won't feel the burden when you just like unboxing the first one. But imagine you got different book subscriptions and then you still visit your local bookshops or maybe shopping online. You will end up with more and more books on your physical TBR. But books are something that you need time to consume. It is not like a cup of espresso you can finish in minutes. I'm not queuing Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not. So you have beautiful books to display on your shelf, but you got no time to read, and I think it is such a waste. And please, when that moment of realization comes, don't complain about it. Go finish your books before you buy any more. Like I said earlier, people like me getting special editions from like private sellers from eBay, and I think it is a vicious cycle. People want to get special books, but they have discontinued, so they have to look for it on other places. Seeing there is always a demand there for special editions and how much people are willing to pay for them. There are of course some people gonna buy a set of books just for the sake of investment. To be fair, I don't think this kind of phenomenon is healthy. If you buy a set of books and enjoy reading them, great, who doesn't want it? If you got them and then the books are not as good as you expect and then you sell them, fine. But if you hold a set of books and then sell them in the future for a crazy amount of money, on one hand, I would say you got great eyes for investment, but as a reader, I will condemn you. If it is a really limited inclusive edition and you buy them just for sale, I think it is kind of exploiting others who really want it. But I guess it is like the problem of free market and capitalism. We can't blame people just for investment, but we are the ones suffering from it. Now, after seeing so much, what I've learned is that don't go blind for special editions. I know that it is quite hard when the FOMO hit, but I just find that for some special editions that I've got, it's actually from a new author, someone that I have never read before. They look good, but the reviews are not quite out there yet, and after finishing them, my reviews are always so mixed. Some I do enjoy, some I may have difficulty to get through. So rather I will get a standard edition or even have a look at your local library. If you enjoy the first one and there's sequel in the future, then you can get a special edition for it. But not jumping into author or genre that you are not familiar with and start it with a special edition and pay more for it. So the last question is, who should get the special edition? After over half a year of buying experience and finally come to a stage of realization, I would say that books that hold special values to you, or books or authors that in general would have a good reception. If you not count my book subscription, the recent special edition that I've got is the Broken Binding set of Malison. It is probably one of the greatest epic fantasy series of all time. The reviews are usually quite nice and people always recommending it. So I know that if I like the first 3 books, I can keep them and continue with this set of special edition. If I don't, I can just sell it because I know that there's always a demand of it out there in the future. Then I can't remember any special editions that I have got, which I think is a great thing because it means that everything is under control. Then if you get books that hold special values to you, maybe they are the best books you have ever read in your life, or maybe they are from your favorite author. It means that you're gonna like it, you're gonna enjoy it, you don't have to worry anything about it, and every penny you spend on it gonna worth it. If you know that book and that book brings you joy, it is better than going blind and just randomly buy a special edition from a shop. So that's it for this chatty video about special edition of books. It is quite different from what I normally do, and I hope you will enjoy it. So if you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a like. If you don't want to miss any content from me, make sure you have subscribed to my channel. I'll see you real soon. Goodbye!